Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in this world. My name is Hejin Lee, and I am here to provide a morning update for Bitcoin. I just earlier posted the Elmo on Fire Bitcoin 9000 announcement. And sure enough, here we are. Bitcoin as high as 9,209 using the Coinbase price feed. Beautiful. Now, these are my original markings from last night. Precision hit on 3. Precision hit on 3. And I eyeballed it. If you read or have studied my tutorial on Elliott waves, I show how I lay down the length of my waves. And this is probably about 2.618 of 1. And that eyeball measurement was also a precision hit. Not too shabby. So if we have 1, 2, 3, what's next? 4. If you look at 1, 2, 2 was a little bit complex. 1, A, B, C, D, E was a triangle. Most likely wave 4 will be a flat A, B, C, or maybe a zigzag, depending on if we drill down this into maybe 5 minutes. We can maybe count 5 waves here, 3, and maybe 5. So it'll be faster than probably wave 2. And this will probably go to A, B, C. In fact, let's drill down to the 50 minutes. So I see 5 waves. Check this out. Beautiful. Let's do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vintage. Classic. Beautiful. Make this red since it's a correction. And then we have A, B, C. Maybe it'll be one more a little higher high, possible. A, B, C. Okay. Then from here we'll see a 5-wave decline. And that could look like something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now these are very small waves, sub-microwaves. And I think the end of wave 5 could somewhere be within this price range here. And if it got really rambunctious, we could maybe go to the support range here. But I think it's more likely to be somewhere in this range, if at all. What else can it be? Remember, there are 36 possibilities in a correction. But I think it's more of a zigzag. Okay, so if it's not a zigzag, what else could it be? Well, the correction could morph into a triangle of some type. Maybe like this. But that's not my best alternate because usually triangles have to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And I'm saying a 5, 3, 3, 3, 3. Now, if I wanted to, I could say ABC, kind of bend the rules a little bit to meet the chart pattern. And I have done that. And it works. This is where, when I bend the rules a little bit, when I see that by bending it slightly like that, everything else falls into place so beautifully, then it is acceptable. That is a call, field-based call that I make. And it is acceptable because it leads to accurate projections. But so far, this is not my alternate count. And quite often, I've made a lot of mistakes in arriving in. You don't have to be a stickler. Nothing is definite in this world. That's what I learned. You don't have to be a stickler to the point that it becomes damaging. When you see something that's just right in your face and it's about to happen, and yet something like this, there's 5 ways, so I cannot count this. No, it's got to be something else. Therefore, I have to negate all of these patterns is a mistake. I've always arrived at a conclusion. A good technical analyst, to me, is a bad technical analyst who forgives himself for his mistakes but learns the valuable lessons from his mistakes. And that's I guess, the secret sauce for today. A good technical analyst is a bad technical analyst who makes mistakes, but very importantly, forgives himself for the mistakes that he made and learns the lessons from them. That is really, really important to understand. Make all the mistakes and you will. I guarantee you will make mistakes and failures. Because failures, if you have the right mindset, I guess that's what I'm really trying to get at. If your mindset is nailed to a concept where you got to make $1 million no matter what, that's greed driving you. But if your mindset is humble and gratitude, and your mindset then will be very different at a different level, where you will precisely understand what I just said earlier, that a good technical analyst is often a bad technical analyst who forgives himself for his failures and mistakes, but very importantly learns the valuable lessons from them. Okay, so now let's get rid of this. I'm going to zoom back to 1 hour. chart surgery has been completed. Oops, that's ABCDE. I think this will be a miniature zigzag. Wave 4. Put it back to here. So we may see a correction down to 8,800 or so, 8,900-ish. The bottom of A was 89.24, so in my opinion, anything below 89.24 will be a good finishing point for the C wave. So let's see how the I think most of the day will be spent on this correction probably. And given the hurry up and wait syndrome, even for Bitcoin, it may take its time a little bit. There's going to be some profit taking, or there was already some profit taking here. There may be some more profit taking here, just like there was here. It's getting rid of the weekends. You want your profit now? Take it. And then it'll resume. And those who are taking profits, unless they get ladder back in here, but very short range to play on, too much effort. But those who are taking profits here thinking it's going to now stop and that it's going to crash, when they see the price go beyond their buy point, they're going to kick themselves. And then they're going to buy here. Chase the rat's tail. And that often leads to buy high, sell low scenarios, which is very painful. And I'm sure every one of you know that feeling. I do. I was a champion of buy high, buy highest, and sell lowest in my earlier days. That was my forte. No one could do it better than me. But the emotional distress that comes with that is mortifying. And in a state of mind like that, you cannot think clearly to then land the next massive profit. You in fact land the next massive loss. It becomes a vicious cycle, a death spiral. And if you want to get a meaningful departure away from that torture, I strongly recommend you go to one of my, hey, here it's Elmo, Bitcoin 9000. But where did it go? Here it is. Go to the tutorials. And I start recommending that you start being a bad technical analyst. And you know exactly what I mean by that. Make the mistakes, learn, forgive yourself for the mistakes, and learn from them. That is a good technical analyst. Go through the tutorials. This is an invaluable tutorial for laddering your buys and sells. How to buy and sell your setups. And the use of my use of Fibonacci's with Elliott waves can help you better understand how I plot my waves when I count my waves. and label them. And buy the books, The Elliott Wave Principle. Got everything you need to know about the technicalities of Elliott waves. I'm not saying that you should subscribe to the author's newsletter, Elliott Wave International. I don't. You can if you want, but I don't. The other book is Technical Analysis of Stock Trends. Very, very important to have. And no, I get not a single penny for recommending these books. I recommend these because these are the ones I used. And when you have a coach, when you have someone who can coach and help and support you with repetitious lessons and applications, you can save yourself countless number of failure incidents, because quite often the person who's helping you, your mentor, already went through those. It doesn't mean you won't go through your own set of failures, but it can save you countless amount of torturous experiences. And my trading nuggets. When in doubt, click on my trading nuggets, and you might say, wow, boy, this is getting really dumped. I'm counting ABC. Oh my God, everyone hates it. Buy what the crowd hates. This is another one for newbies to really watch out for. You may have already learned this lesson. Never empty your wallet into a single trade. Never trade on margin. How many of you have been burned on that? I'll raise my hands. It'll bring your account to zero. Never short a bull market. That'll bring your account to zero. In a bull market, BTFT. That's what I've been saying for Bitcoin. You don't have to be the guy taking the profits at the very tippy top. Leave the crumbs for the other guy. That's another favorite of mine. Don't day trade. Another one that I really like. Trade the trends. Have the trend on your side, because then it'll be a friend. When you day trade, you lose a lot of energy. It's very emotionally distressing. And you have to sit in front of your freaking computer all day, every minute of the day, and there's no happiness to be found in doing that. How do I know? I tried it. Yeah, you can make money if you apply the techniques and everything well, but trading the big trends can make you more money. When you trade too excessively, you become your worst enemy. There's that fine separation of line between greed and fear. And you won't even know that you are in the greed camp until it's too late. That's why trading the trends keeps you out of that kind of greed and fear mentality better. And this was what I was trying to say earlier. Celebrate your losses and mistakes. They teach better than your successes. This is what I mean when I say a good technical analyst is a bad technical analyst who makes mistakes but forgives himself for it and learns the lessons from those mistakes. That is what makes a good technical analyst. This was another lesson that I learned just by watching somebody. Never be inflexible in your analysis. When you see me changing my account, changing my call, it's based on number 13. If you become inflexible, your account will go to zero. $14 and $12 really go together. Here's my favorite Wall Street saying. It's always better to be out of the market wishing you were in it than in the market wishing you were out of it. Never forget this. When you feel FOMO, fear of missing out, read this. When A is happening and B is going and you're feeling FOMO, oh, I could trade this, make some money, read number 15. And in the words of the Oracle of Omaha, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And because of this, I believe Mr. Buffett is a technical analyst at heart. This statement itself is really gouging and measuring what? Sentiment. And that is all what technical analysis attempts. Tries to read and gauge and chart sentiment, the direction of sentiment. I hope this has been helpful. I try to, with each video, embed some level of secret sauce experience that I've had, learning experiences that I've had, and I'm hoping that it can convey to you as well the same skill set and maybe knowledge, and save you a lot of pain since I've gone through them myself. And as always, at the end, I always say I hope I have earned the right to ask you for your consideration of your upvote, follow, and re-steams. And these are very, very important to me, not out of greed for the monetary side, but for the visibility that I can have. So more and more can see these blogs, and they too maybe can benefit. And hopefully massively profit, because they too will maybe be on the onset of becoming a technical analyst, or at the very least getting a better assessment and control of their emotions. Okay, so let's see how the day prices go today and talk to you. If there's anything significant, I'll put in a midday update. Otherwise, on Bitcoin, I'll talk to you tonight.